Welcome, Sailor, Jerry, Saturday, week 5. And I want
everybody.
to introduce someone very important to me because, as you can tell, we had some real baggage holding us down the past few weeks. We got rid of him. We fired Trickus. He's gone. And now we replaced him with a better-looking, smarter Nikko.
Shots fired.
Nikko! Introduce yourself, buddy. Tell everybody.
Hey, fellas. I'm real excited to be here right now. I don't want to screw this up. I don't know what to do with my hands, but let's get this show going.
Like on.
And Nikko came in with the high-tech microphone, headphones. He's ready. He was born to do this. I'm not doubting my mind. He'll be way better than Trickus. So, what I want to do to start off this recap real quick. We are on week 5, and I just want to go over the rankings or the current rankings or standings, I guess. So, I know in first place for our league is the one and only Keith.
Yeah, boy.
I do know that. Crafts rub route. Love it. 3-1. After that is Seabass, our own, very own. Wow, we got the 1 and 2 combo going.
That's
He's
right.
also
That's right.
3-1. But I would like to note that he did just beat Keith in the head-to-head match. So technically, Nico's better. Keith scored more points, so he's up there at the top. Then we got Blue Jesus Chicken Wing, Casey Thorpe, a.k.a. Pops, a.k.a. The Dad, a.k.a. 3-1. Then we got Kiss the Baby. Hasn't changed his name in about, I don't know, since we started. Has the same exact picture. He's 3-1 somehow, even though I don't think his team's that good. Just joking. I do think it's good. Anyways, Carpet Munchers comes in at 5, 2-2. Friar Douglas, 2-2. Trickus loves Bishop Grimes. The Juice is Loose, 2-2. Scary, Terry, Sharknado.
Sharknado.
Thorpe comes in at Sharknado. Thorpe comes in at 8 at 2-2, and then we got the bottom feeders led by Josh Fideli, aka me, at number 9, 1-3. Then we got Sean Archer, Basla, Balls Deep All Stars, Grono, and then Don Juan, 08.
Sorry, Don.
Just want to also point out,
hurting.
I'm in one other league. I'm only in 2 leagues. Kinto's in that league, and he's also in last place in that league.
No, is he really an East Coast elite?
Yeah, he's having a rough year. He lost his platinum status. Actually, everybody lost their platinum status.
Yeah, I did too.
I think I'm coming for the silver spot. Me and Nikko, we're about to take over the leagues.
Whatever.
But that's the current standings. But more importantly, what I want to go over is sometimes the records, they don't show how good or how bad a team actually is. So I want to bring back the power rankings, which is something that we incorporated last year. And, we each have our own list of who we think is at the top all the way to the bottom. And then we also have consensus rankings. So first, though, I want to kind of go over just the 1 through 6 spots, what each of us have. And then we'll go from there. But Nikko, you want to start who your top 6 are for the power rankings?
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, starting off with number 1, it's a little bit funny, but I put myself there. And trust me, I had to think about it a little bit. I was like, am I really going to do this? But I was like, hey, I like you had mentioned before, I knocked off number 1. I mean, Keith and I are only separated by 20 points, and I'll take that as enough to put myself there at 1. With 2, though, no disrespect, had to put Keith there. Keith's craft rub route, definitely. 3rd, I put Carpet Munchers. Brad's team, I feel top to bottom, he has people who can put up big points, especially Alvin Kamara on there and Patty Mahomes. I mean, that 1-2 punch is pretty scary.
Yeah.
Followed by Blue Jesus Chicken Wing, Casey, Kiss the Baby, Jim, and then Jake at number 6.
Ah, thanks, man. I appreciate that someone thinks that my team's underperforming. As they are. What about you, Keith?
I much like my friend Nikko here, I had to pat myself on the back, and I'm gonna sit at number 1 there.
Right? That's what you like.
Oh my gosh, you guys are total.
If I'm honest with myself, looking at Michael Thomas, looking at Juju, they both don't have a starting quarterback anymore, so that doesn't help my team at all. And Melvin Gordon's back. So trending downward, definitely, but I'm still there right now, so I'm just going to take it while I'm there. Number 2, I just kind of, obviously I looked at everybody's team. I looked at Jimmy's team, and I really like it. I think he's got a lot of potential. He's solid everywhere in every position, pretty much. So I got him at 2. I got Nikko at 3. I got the Carpet Munchers at 4. Blue Jesus Chicken Wing at 5. And I have Trickus, Friar Douglas at 6. I kind of like his team too. I think I squeaked him in there.
I like Trickus's team.
Yeah, I like his team. I don't like his performance as a podcaster. Exactly.
Person, but unreliable. Yeah. But I do like him.
Yeah, good thing your podcast abilities don't necessarily have to do with your fantasy football abilities. So
yeah, that's true. That's true. So what I had to do is I had to come knock down both of your high horses that you guys are on. So I had to create my own power rankings, and I mixed it up. I don't know if you guys are going to like this or not, but these are my top 6. I have Jimmy as number 1, Kiss the Baby. I think his team is besides I think his tight end, I forget who it was, but he's got great running backs, got good wide receivers, got a good quarterback, and I think especially running back, he's solid.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's a solid running back. So I think that his team's, he's 3-1, and he hasn't really scored as much as I thought his team would have. So that just means he's 3-1. His team is potentially even be better. So I put him number 1. Number 2, I put Carpet Munchers, Brad Trim. I think Patrick Mahomes alone, he's to be in top 3, and he's got Alvin Kamara. So that helps as well. So I put him at number 2. And then number 3, I put Trickus, Friar Douglas.
He's got a good team.
I think he is well-rounded. He's got Evan Ingram. He's got 3 good running backs. And he's got decent wide receivers. Tyler Lockett, I think, is his best. But I put him as number 3. And then I put Keith at number 4.
Thanks.
But I feel like that's going to change, buddy. I don't think your team's going to be long lasting.
For all the reasons that I just talked about.
Right. You are very, very weak in running back.
Yep.
And your strong suit was wide receivers, and they kind of took a hit. They're still studs, but I don't know if they're going to get 10 to 15 targets a week anymore, which kind of sucks.
Not with Mason Rudolph.
What do you have, like 3 targets 2 weeks ago?
They ran the Wildcat last night.
That was bad.
They ran the damn Wildcat.
Yo, that sucks for you. Good for me.
I know.
But number 5, I got Seabass. I like Nico's team. He's obviously 3-1 for a reason. I just think that the other teams have more potential, I guess, to keep it going. And then I had a 6. I have Blue Jesus Chicken Wing.
Yeah.
As number 6, I think he's gotten. Who just beat him? Jimmy. They both had a shitty week. Jimmy somehow came out of that win.
Yeah.
But I got him as my number 6. So those are all 3 of our top 6. But for a consensus, do you have the consensus report, Keith? Do you want to go over it? The top 12? Now, before we go over this, I want to explain this is just a ranking system. So everybody who got ranked 1 in our list had 12 points, and then all the way down to 1. Yeah. Just reverse. So 1 got 12, 2 got 11, and then I just added them. Whoever got the most points, that's the order that it was in. And then the only one thing, there was a tie. I think it was number 3. It was Nikko. I think he was number 3. He was tied, but he had a number 1 ranking, so I ranked him higher.
Right. All right.
So
I'll read it off based upon Jake's super magical quick maps here. 1 is Craps Rub Route. 2, Kiss the Baby. 3, Seabass. 4, Carpet Munchers. 5, Blue Jesus Chicken Wing. 6, Friar Douglas. 7, J-Fed. 8, The Juice is Loose. 9, Sean Archer. 10, Balls Deep All-Stars. 11, Scary Terry Sharknado. And last, but of course not least in our hearts, is Don Juan 08. And that is your consensus.
Don Juan 08. Yeah, I think that's holding him back. He's stuck in high school.
Staying in high school. Yeah, come on.
It used to be Don Juan. He needs to be Don Juan 20. Don Juan 2020. And I bet you he kills it.
Got to rebrand, reinvent himself.
I think honestly, the draft with Antonio Brown just sunk it.
Terrible.
It was
It
bad.
stinks. It happens every year, but him and Dorf kind of hit the bug of the injuries and shit that happens. It happened to me like 2 years in a row the past couple years. So
yeah, but although Tyreek Hill was practicing this week, so
yeah, you should be back.
Dorf's team's up on the up and up, I think.
It's not too late. It's not too late.
That's never too late. Never too late. But before we go on, I just want to point out my team is going to finish 6th in the rankings at the end of the year. I'm going to have a 7-6 record. And I'm going to win 1 playoff game, and I'm going to lose.
Okay.
So I just wanted to let everybody know that. That's my prediction. Which brings me to the next subject. Matchups and predictions.
Yep.
So this is my favorite category. I can't believe we haven't done it yet, Keith. But anyways, we're each gonna have 2 matchups to review, and then we're gonna give our predictions, who we think's gonna win, and then next week we'll see who was right, and we'll keep a tally, see who has the best record between us 3 by the end of the year.
Mm-hmm.
You guys want to make a bet? See who's gonna win?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, we could do that. Based upon my previous prediction history, I feel pretty confident. I told you AB was done, and he's done.
You did. I had your back on that too.
Yeah,
that was a great.
This is
call.
different though. We're predicting matchups, not predicting players. I mean,
yeah.
That was I feel like that was intelligent guess.
I got
that wasn't necessarily a prediction.
In here. It's all right here.
All right, Keith. Since you're so smart, why don't you start it off with your 2 matchups?
Okay. So that would be you versus Scary Terry Sharknado. Which
it's not me. You have to say my name.
Well, J-Fed.
Thank you.
Yep. Props to Josh.
Hey, I changed my name. You got me a win.
Yeah.
Keith.
Props to Dorf for the incorporating his players into his name. Sharknado. That's good. So his matchup, quarterbacks is Jared Goff versus Baker Mayfield. Goff's in Seattle. Baker is in San Fran. That's pretty much a wash, I think. You're both firing up your Jacksonville wide receivers, which Gardner Minshew is one of my favorite people. So
you see him wearing those jorts?
Yeah, he's just like a great guy.
Dude, he's not bad. He's getting low 20s every week.
Nikko's matchup.
So
I messed
that's
that up.
right. Let's do it on the fly. Which one do you want me to take then of yours?
No, just go ahead. Take over.
Oh my God, Keith! No, that's not what we're doing. You continue, Keith.
All right.
See everybody. Keith said he was so smart. Blah blah blah. He can't even do his own matchups. Jesus, man.
No, because I know Nikko did a bunch of research and was looking into it, so he should definitely just take this over because he has good points to talk about. So I'll just hand it over to him.
You sure? You sure?
Yeah, just take it.
All right.
But first, you have to apologize.
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I just wasted 2 minutes of everybody's life.
It's never coming back.
All right. Well, Nikko, you can start the matchups.
So yeah, to piggyback off of what Keith had already started, I was first going to say that this matchup right here is literally 2 of the best names. You got J-Fed and Scary Terry Sharknado.
Okay, so I got that part right.
That's
about it.
That was like my big point right there. Best names there. But starting off, how I was going to go about doing these breakdowns was looking at 5 positions. You have your quarterback, top receivers, top running backs, tight ends, and flexes. And starting off again, what we keep saying with Goff against Seattle's defense, Baker Mayfield against San Francisco's secondary. I honestly think just from how Goff can just let it rip. Granted, he threw a couple of picks in that shootout with Tampa Bay, but I got to give the check mark to Goff against any offense. That's a high-powered offense, a McVay offense. You know they're going to be putting up at least 30 points and above at any point in time. So check mark right off to Goff over Mayfield. Wide receivers, again, Davante Adams. I'm putting an asterisk on this one. I like Davante Adams against versus Robert Woods, his top wide receiver. But again, an asterisk because I don't know what's going on with that toe.
He might not play. He might not play.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So again,
picked up Allison just in case.
Yes, smart. But again, check mark to Adams. However, if he's no go, then that check mark goes right over to Robert Woods, and I would give Scary Terry the upper hand with the top wide receiver in that matchup. Yep. Running backs, that was an easy one. I love Mixon, solid, but that offensive line for Cincinnati is garbage.
Dude, absolute garbage.
So bad. I don't think any running back, Walter Payton, Jerome Bettis, you get in behind that offense line, no one's getting a good day on that day.
It reminded me of Bishop Grimes when I was trying to.
For real, yeah.
They wonder why I just say, Pete, go long. I'll throw it up to you because I have 1 second to freaking pass. That's literally Andy Dalton. Yeah. He doesn't have any time to do anything last night.
Also, his wide receivers are hurt. So it's like, okay, I'm going to put everybody in the box. Go ahead, Andy. Who are you going to throw to?
TJ Houshmandzadeh.
Yeah, exactly.
but with
Tyler Boyd.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's it.
And but like I said, with that said, that was an easy one. David Johnson. And they're playing each other too, since he is playing Arizona. But like I said, I'm giving David Johnson the check mark on that one.
Yeah.
Tight ends, Delaney Walker and versus Greg Olsen. I like Greg Olsen. And he's like an ageless wonder too. He's getting up there. I mean, it feels like he's been in the league coming out of Miami for a very long time. Kyle Allen's proven to be a pretty good incumbent quarterback, while Cam Newton's sitting out. So I like that Carolina offense, and especially when you have Christian McCaffrey, who can not only catch but run out of that backfield, get the defense to play up a little bit, and then that opens up passing lanes for a pretty good offense. So I'm going to give Greg Olsen the check mark on that. And then the flex. Honestly, I love Stephon Diggs. For Scary Terry Sharknado, but Kirk Cousins. I mean, and this isn't
disappeared.
Yeah, and I mean the Bears defense. Oh, that was I know some people were probably like, it's such a boring game. I'm a Bears. I love seeing just the defense take over a game like that.
Dude, why did the Raiders trade Mac? I still don't understand.
I don't know.
And this is all you have to do.
Happy it happened.
Is look up the Raiders GM's haircut, and then you'll understand why their team is in shambles.
So bad. It's like a bowl cut.
The dude is crazy.
Gosh.
Yeah. But and then Mohamed Sanu, I mean, he put up big numbers. He had 12 targets, 9 catches. Matt Ryan likes to throw to the guy. I'm going to give the check mark to Sanu. So with that said, J-Fed gets 3 checks to Scary Terry Sharknado's 2. However, that Davante Adams, that could be a big swing in things. If Davante Adams is not a go on Sunday, then Scary Terry is going to get that upper hand in that one.
So unfortunately. So what you're saying, for the record, all right? This is this is big. This is for the prediction record.
Yeah.
Are we gonna allow this, Keith? Can he put asterisks that change his prediction?
Oh, okay. I'll give you a definitive answer.
Because he's saying right now he thinks I'm gonna win. Unless Davante Adams doesn't play, then he thinks Dorf's gonna win, which is good logic. But if we're putting asterisks, I'm gonna put an asterisk on every single thing.
No, we can't be messing around with asterisks.
You're right. So,
you just gotta pick one. So that way
this is on Davante Adams' toe.
Yes.
I'm gonna go J-Fed number 9. He's gonna get the upset, take out Scary Terry Sharknado.
Yep.
Oh, I love it.
That way you're just as much invested in Davante Adams as Jake is.
Yeah. All right, good.
All right, that's fair. But I do agree, though, Davante Adams does. Even though Allison's going to get, obviously, more catches, he ain't Didn't
Davante put up 186 last week, didn't he?
Yeah.
186 yards?
He caught everything.
Damn.
He got
Aaron Rodgers was pissed because literally the week before he got 4 targets, and he's like, why am I only throwing this guy 4 times? And he threw to him like 16 times. And he had like 12 catches, 180 yards.
and that's the beauty of Aaron Rodgers too. I mean, the guy's in so command of an offense that he literally, if he wants, I mean, he even said too, he's like, Jimmy Graham's going to be getting the ball more, Devontae Adams is going to be getting the ball more. He literally said that before the game. And each of them had a blowout day. Yeah.
Devontae
like the guy can place it where he wants to place it.
And he could have more. He got hurt in like I think it's
third quarter,
somewhere in the 4th. I think it was.
The 4th.
But still, he had another a few possessions that he missed. That he could have got a couple catches
easily.
He could have had more.
Yeah.
All right, so Keith.
Yeah.
You going to keep track? His first pick.
Yeah.
And then, do you want me to go off on my next one?
Yeah, let's go to matchup number 2.
Okay, matchup number 2. I have here. If we're going off of how we started on the last matchup about names, 2 of these guys who have never changed their names since the beginning, as you had mentioned earlier, Kiss the Baby hasn't changed it since Chad Johnson was still in Cincinnati, and Carpet Munchers I think has been the same name since too.
He never has a picture either.
No, just the helmet. But that's Trim. If you know Trim, that's Trim right there. So starting off, same type of logic, just matching up quarterbacks, top receiver, top running back, tight end, flex. This like the running backs with Mixon and Johnson, this was a no-brainer. Patty Mahomes. Who's going to pick against Patty Mahomes? You can't.
Can't do it.
I'd take him against any quarterback in the league. I mean, the guy, lights out, is always going to get the check mark for me. Receivers, Kiss the Baby has probably 2 of the top receivers. It was even hard to pick. I mean, obviously Julio Jones versus Cooper Kupp. I think anyone would probably say Julio. I'd have him as my number 1. Cooper Kupp's been killing it as of late, so I got to give him credit. But I used him as the matchup against Carpet Muncher's top receiver, which was Amari Cooper, and I got to go with Julio Jones. I feel like a no-brainer as well. Alvin Kamara versus Le'Veon Bell. Again, Alvin Kamara's lights out. I mean, the things that guy has done just the past 2 weeks, I mean, he easily can put up anywhere between 20 to 30 to 40 points a week. So that was a no-brainer. The head scratcher on this one that had a little of a toss-up, almost flip a coin, was the tight end battle. and not because they're putting up a lot, but I mean, I think each guy, neither of them were projected over 5 points. I think it was like 4.96, like 4.83 or something. Eric Ebron versus D Knox. And I think even with, Josh Allen going down, Matt Barkley coming in as the backup quarterback, I saw, probably the last quarter and a half of that game against New England. Granted, against a New England stingy defense, tough defense, the guy just did not look comfortable. He was actually a Bears backup a couple years back, and he was just garbage. He just wasn't a good backup. Just never looked comfortable. With that said, I'll take Jacoby Brissett passing the ball to Eric Ebron over D Knox. So far that's 3 check marks to the 1 check mark for Kiss the Baby. But in the flex, I give him 1. I give him Marlon Mack over Larry Fitzgerald. So with that said, with Patty Mahomes, Alvin Kamara, and Eric Ebron, Carpet Munchers is going to win this game. Or win this matchup, I think.
All right.
Carpet Munchers as it is.
Yep. Yeah, Jimmy's only weak spot is that tight end. He's got a solid squad. Julio,
and
Derrick Henry,
Marlon staying healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Marlon's currently questionable. So, but I mean, everybody's got questionable people on their team now at this point in the year. So
everybody's questionable.
Yeah,
it's good for me in the other league. I got Hines.
Yeah.
Anyways, so Keith, you want to go over your 2 matchups? Do you want me to repeat which matchups you have so you know what you're working on right now?
No, I'm fully aware of who I'm supposed to talk about now. I just got so excited to actually get back into doing this that I just started talking.
Oh my gosh, dude! So, all right, go ahead.
My first matchup here is Friar Douglas versus Seabass, and Yahoo's got this one pretty tight. Actually, Yahoo's got Friar with the 54% advantage there. Quarterbacks, Jameis in New Orleans, and Carson home versus the Jets.
Mhm.
It's tough because Jameis always has a chance to explode.
I'm listening.
Always has a chance to explode. He also always has a chance to throw 3 picks. So there's a chance that game. There's a chance that game becomes a shootout. I don't think the Jets game becomes a shootout. I think, and if watching the Philly game last week, they get a lead, they ground and pound it with the running backs that they got, and they just kill clock. That's what Peterson does. And then they throw in Alshon and Zach Ertz. So I think because of the ceiling, I'm going to give the nod to Jameis on that one. Wide receivers, Tyler Lockett, Courtland Sutton versus Odell, Julian Edelman. Courtland Sutton is pretty much the only producing wide receiver on the Broncos. Sanders does get targets. He does get catches, but he's not as consistent as Courtland, and Courtland's been getting the red zone targets. Lockett just catches bombs from Russell all day long. That's what he does. It's like always 40 yards down the field. Lockett's falling down and catches the ball.
It is every time.
Odell disappeared in a high-scoring game where he also got choked out. I don't know if you guys saw that, but that dude literally was on top of him, like choking him out on the field. That was an interesting thing to see.
They were peppering Jarvis Landry the whole game.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just peppered him. Julian Edelman against Washington. Patriots are going to get up big in that one, and Tom Brady's not going to throw the ball. It's going to be Burkhead, Sony Michel, and whoever else they want to put in the backfield. What's that dude's name? Brandon Bolden.
They have so many guys back there. I don't even know. I lose count.
Yeah, so I give the wide receiver nod to Fryer Douglas.
Really?
That one. Yeah. Christian McCaffrey and Aaron Jones, James Conner and Chris Carson. Obviously Christian McCaffrey is Christian McCaffrey.
It's nuts.
Stud.
Yep.
Absolutely.
But Jacksonville's defense isn't anything to sneeze at either. They know what they're going to do. Like, they know what Carolina wants to do, and let's give the ball to Christian. So that's not hard to, plan for. I haven't seen anything out of Aaron Jones at all this year that makes me excited to talk about him.
He doesn't even – the only reason he's been relative is he's gotten 2 touchdowns the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Goal line touches.
That's it. That's what saved him.
He has one game he had 8 touches, 8 carries.
James Conner and Chris Carson are both on teams where they are going to run the ball. That's what they're going to do. Even into the point in Pittsburgh now that I alluded to earlier that they're running the Wildcat in Pittsburgh now. So you could see James Conner getting pass yards somehow. Like, you know what I mean?
It's true.
Like, I gave the running back nod to Seabass on that one. Then you go to Evan Ingram versus new phone Who Disley. And Golden Tate's back this week. That's true, right?
That is correct, yes.
He's probably gonna shore up some targets there. Minnesota has a good defense. Evan Ingram is also Evan Ingram, but Will Disley has been just producing at a rate that's it's been hot. I think this week I gotta go Disley there. I think I gotta go Disley.
I like it. I agree with that.
So now, is that a tie?
Yeah, it's tied so far. Now, this is where it gets interesting because this is where Devontae also comes into play again. If he doesn't play, so Nikko really doesn't want Devontae to play. But at the same time, he does. He's torn right down the middle. That sucks.
No, he doesn't want him to play.
Yeah,
that's more important to him than this.
If Devontae doesn't play, the nod goes to Nikko on that one.
Here we go again.
But at the same time, Devontae Freeman, he is the RB1 in Atlanta, which has they've been playing terrible.
Oh, they're garbage.
So it's like, that's tough. I think just because he's the RB1 and he's gonna get more touches. I just got to give the nod to Devontae on that one.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Of course, Justin Tucker gets a nod. As far as kickers go in that one, it's Justin Tucker.
Thanks.
But
Thanks,
I really
Jimmy.
think, also, usually defenses aren't that big of a factor, but when you can start the Patriots defense,
Yeah.
it is. They've been the best
Against
defense
the Redskins?
against the Redskins. That's a solid floor at the very least. So I think with that being said, the overall nod goes to my buddy Nikko here. I'll give him the W this week.
Wow.
Cheers,
Seabass. I love me some New England Patriots defense, baby. Number
Especially
one scorers in the league.
Especially if you're an East Coast elite.
Yeah. I don't even want to go
50
there.
plus a week, baby.
It's insane. It's insane.
They got the Giants next week. They got the Jets after that again. Dude, this is great.
Yeah. Okay.
They have more sacks than points given up, by the way.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's absolutely silly.
Wow.
How does the perennial Super Bowl team have the cakest schedule every year?
Bro.
They have like a tough game.
I hope
like
it-
6-game stretch
well,
in the middle.
Their division is trash every year.
They start off. Yeah, the division's trash, and they I think I wouldn't be surprised if they start off 7-0 and then they start to lose some games. After that, they have
I
you know,
hope.
the Ravens, Kansas City, the Browns, like harder teams that can beat them.
Can the Bills just do something, please?
I would hope.
Please.
Did you guys see the story about Tom Brady's shoulder pads?
Yeah, they're older than some people on his team.
3 of his players on his team, 25 years old.
He's had the same shoulder pads the whole time.
Freshman year at Michigan.
And this is what I thought
No
about
way.
that.
I swear, it's crazy. That's how
The
long
first-
this guy's been in the league. It's
Yeah.
insane.
The first thing I thought about that was I would be able to make my shoulder pads last a long time too if it was illegal to touch me.
That's good. That's true.
It's true.
Honestly, I was watching these old hits on quarterbacks back in the day, like hits that have taken
Smashed.
snaps. And there's like 3 significant hits that took quarterbacks out of the league. There's one against Kurt Warner against New Orleans. I'm sure you guys remember
Mhm.
that one, crackback. And
Yeah.
then the one that took out Steve Young was absolutely vicious. How they hit quarterbacks back in the day, nothing compared to today.
No, not at all.
Dude, they used to snap their legs.
Yeah,
Their
that was
legs
Joe
were snapped.
Theismann. What was
Insane.
it? LT broke his leg.
Broke his leg. He hit him so hard, and then started freaking out.
He knew it.
Is someone
You know-
coming?
You know it's bad when a large man is freaking out because he just destroyed somebody's leg.
Yeah,
That
Joe
dude was on
Theismann.
also.
Oh.
LT was on so much. Imagine if Khalil Mack was also on an 8-ball.
Oh, scary.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, so it's kind of. I think it's good in a way that they're making all these rules and changes, regulations, obviously.
Yeah.
But
All
that
right.
would have been nice to see.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So the next matchup here is Sean Archer versus the Balls Deep All Stars. Sean Archer is favored 59% in this one. Quarterbacks: Lamar Jackson in Pitt versus Phillip Rivers home in Denver. Got to give the nod to Lamar. Just because rushing yards potential on that one. Phillip Rivers is not going to run the ball anywhere. He will throw it all game long. Denver has a pretty solid secondary, although they just lost what's that kid's name, Bradley Chubb, for the year. So, but I'll give the nod to Lamar. Wide receivers, you got Sammy Watkins and Sterling Shepard versus Brandon Cooks and Mecole Hardman. Mecole Hardman is only viable if he catches a long touchdown pass. So I don't like him at all. Brandon Cooks gets more targets, but he's also the same thing. They're deep ball guys. So if you hit it and they catch a deep ball, obviously that's a good week for you. But if it's a different style game, they can get scripted out real fast. Sammy Watkins and Sterling Shepard. Sterling Shepard's going to. Daniel Jones loves him, obviously. They got a good little 1-2 thing going on there.
It's not Danny Jones. His name is Danny Dimes.
Oh, Danny Dimes.
Did you buy this shirt yet?
No, but I'm going to.
Yeah. Sammy Watkins has also been trending down. It's weird because Kansas City, all the touchdowns went to running backs last week, and then this week could absolutely flip, and it could just be wide receiver touchdowns.
Very true.
So I'm just going to give the slight edge to Sammy Watkins and Sterling Shepard on that one. So that's three nods to Sean Archer there. Then you have Zeke and Melvin Gordon versus Dalvin Cook and Leonard Fournette. Dalvin Cook is the current NFL rushing leader. Is that true? Yeah, he's right.
He might be. He ran to that Bears defense last week.
Yeah, he got stuffed. Yeah, he got stuffed last week.
410, and he scores every single week.
Yep.
He did score.
He's got the Giants this week, which they're not the Bears defense. So, and Leonard Fournette rushed for 200 plus yards last week too.
250 yards.
Yep. On 225. Unreal. They're both over 400 for the year.
Yeah.
I think they're top 1, 2, or maybe top 3 at least.
Yep. Zeke in home versus Green Bay. Green Bay actually has a solid defense this year, much improved from last year. Obviously Zeke is still Zeke though, but he is also, as we saw last week, he can also get scripted out apparently, because down late went totally away from him.
Yeah,
went totally away from him. So and the big question mark is Melvin Gordon. How many touches is he going to get? You have no idea. Austin Eckler is playing out of his mind. He's part of the reason why I am 3-1. He's getting 12 plus touches. I think as a coach, you can't just be like, all right, Austin, Melvin's going to do everything now. I don't think you do that. But you also gotta sprinkle in Melvin if he's truly ready to play. So will he get touches? Probably. Are they going to be RB1 type numbers? Probably not.
They'll probably split.
So. Yeah.
Gordon will probably start, and then I see him split in every series.
So I give the running back nod there to the balls deep all-stars. Travis Kelce versus Jimmy Graham. That's a pretty obvious one. Travis Kelce is the best tight end in the league. Easily. Flex position, you have James White versus Todd Gurley. Todd's in Seattle. James is in Washington. James White is just, a PPR darling. Tom doesn't like to play. Dump it to James White. That's what happens every single time.
That's it.
So, and he's gonna run for 3 to 5 yards and run out of bounds. That's what happens. Todd in Seattle, and we just talked about Todd. He's not getting the touches that he was last year. He can go off, but we haven't really seen it yet. And Seattle is also stingy defense as well. And it's a Thursday game. And Todd has said in the media many times that he hates Thursdays games. So I don't think I got to give the nod to James White there. Defenses, I think, is a wash here. So overall prediction, I got Sean Archer taking the W on that one.
Nice. Yeah, Gurley had 5 carries last week, but he scored twice.
They know something we all don't. Either they're doing the exact opposite, like we're going to preserve him all year just to unleash him in the playoffs, or there is something physically going on with him where they're almost like a pitcher, like he's got a snap count.
I think it's the former. I think they're really gonna really just conserve him, and then because they know they're making the playoffs, although winning that division, I don't think is as clear cut as it was last year. I mean, Seattle's a pretty good team.
They're a good team,
and San Fran's undefeated. Am I correct? Right?
3-0. They had a bye.
So I mean, I honestly think they're going to conserve him. But I think if worse comes to worse, they'll start unleashing the Gurley on.
Who else is in that division? Cardinals.
Cardinals.
Yeah, the Cardinals.
3-1, 2-1 or something.
Cardinals, are they?
Yeah, they tied the Lions and they haven't won.
That's right.
Yep.
Yeah, that brings a good point to what you were talking about earlier with Goff. It's like he threw a couple of interceptions last week, but he threw the ball 50 plus times and he had 500 passing yards.
Insane.
And they lost. But all right, so now we go on to the final 2 matchups. And the first one I'm going to go over is my buddy Keith against Don Juan Quinto. Oh, Quinto. Don Juan against Kraft's Rub Route. So right now, Yahoo has the first place Keith favored, which makes sense because he's in first place and Quinto's in last. So as far as position-wise goes, we'll start with the quarterbacks. First, we have Andy Dalton against Matt Ryan. I said it before, I'll say it again. Matt Ryan, I think, is going to have a bad year, and his team's not winning. He's not doing that bad, but he's not going to be like last year, I don't think. Every other year he does this.
Yeah, I'm not too happy with Matty Ice right now.
It's at Houston, and Andy Dalton is home against the Cardinals. So I think that if that's a matchup, Andy Dalton, if he's looking for a matchup where he can do good, that's the one.
That's the one, yeah.
Against the Cardinals. But again, it's still that offensive line, man.
It's true.
In that game was torturous.
And John Ross is out this week.
John Ross is out. That's good for me in the other league.
He's out for a month too. He's placed in the IR.
He really messed up his shoulder. So Andy Dalton. I mean, that game is scripted to be passes all over the place, but
I think that just because they're playing the Cardinals, Matt Ryan's at Houston. I'm gonna say it's a wash. I'm gonna say it's a wash. I'm not picking one. I think if anything, I feel like I just have a feeling Andy Dalton's. I feel like he's gonna go off. He's gonna hit his target.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong too. I think he's top 5 in passing yards too. Like he even despite all that, the guy still slings the rock.
He said last week was just or this week against the Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
It was a horrible game. He didn't even break 200. But besides that, yeah, I think he had in the first 3 games he was like 1,000, I think, or close to it, like 980 in 3 games. So he was averaging 300 plus for the first 3 games. So it's not like he was doing horrible. But I'm still gonna call that a wash. I just don't trust that one. But then next we have wide receivers. We got Keenan Allen, Michael Thomas. That's for Keith, and then against Jarvis Landry and Dorsett for the Patriots. Now, Landry left last week's game. I don't even know if he's going to play. He's in concussion protocol, I believe. He left last week after having 8 catches, 167 yards. He had a concussion. They took him out, so he could have even had more than that. I think that was his career high as far as receiving yards go in a game. But I don't even think he's going to play, even if he does. Not for me, goes to Keenan Allen. In those 2 positions, I mean, he's just a beast. The first 3 weeks, he has 10, 15, and 17 targets. Granted, last week they played in Miami, so they didn't have to do much. They only had 6 targets. But that was like a one-off week, I feel like. So I think those 2, Philip Dorsett and then Michael Thomas, I don't care who's throwing the ball. Michael Thomas is going to get the nod.
He's a machine. I mean,
he went from 13 targets to 7 or 9, between 7 and 9. Yeah. But still, that's, I think, probably more than Philip Dorsett. Yeah, it's a little bit more. He's still going to see more targets. But so I get the nod to wide receiver for Keith. And then we have running backs. This is Keith's downfall. This is where Keith is not going to win later on in the playoffs. He's going to lose to me when I am the 6th seed. And Keith is a 3 seed. I'm going to beat him in the first round of the playoffs. So, all because he has Austin Eckler and Gallman. Obviously, Gallman's not going to be there. Berkeley is actually – they're thinking he's going to be coming back. Barkley, they're thinking he's going to be coming back sooner than first thought. So he might be back as early as next week. I'm thinking the week after. And so it's only going to be a few games missed. Still, Keith gets the benefit at least the next 1 to 2 more weeks with Gallman. I still think, though, that just the fact that Quinto has Nick Chubb, they're playing San Francisco Monday night at San Fran. He's got D. Williams. for Kansas City, not Damian Darrell Williams or Darrell, however you pronounce it. This is tough. I think I'm gonna have to go Quinto for wide receiver.
Running back.
For running back. Yeah, I feel like Austin Eckler's he's gonna get half the touches. I just got a feeling that Nick Chubb. I think he's gonna do good.
You like the Chubb, don't you?
Yeah,
that's fun to say. Chubb.
And for tight end, D. Waller against Andrews for Baltimore. Andrews started off hot. I don't think he's. Oh yeah, he did decent last week. He scored last week. He just had one off week, and then he gets targets about 8 a week though, so that's good for tight end. But then Darren Waller, he's like came out of nowhere. He hasn't even scored yet, and he gets a lot of
targets.
1 week he was at 14. They're playing Chicago though.
In London.
Baltimore is playing
in London.
I'm going to give the edge to Andrews on this one. I'm going to say, Oakland's not going to be able to handle Bears D. They're not going to get into any rhythm. Derek Carr is going to be on his ass the whole game. So I'm going to go Mark Andrews. And then for the flex, Juju against Ronald Jones II for the Tampa Bay. This is a tough one because obviously I would say before the season, 10 times out of 10, I'm picking Juju. But
Mason Rudolph.
It's tough when he's getting 4 targets a game and catches 3 for 15 yards. It's real tough. It all depends on what their game plan is going to be. Obviously, I have no idea. I think that if they go Wildcat, he's going to be touchdown dependent when they do throw it. And who knows if he's going to get that or not. They're playing Baltimore at home, and then Ronald Jones has Saints at the Saints. It's tough. I think I'm gonna give the edge to Juju though. I can't find myself picking a running back from Tampa Bay over Juju Smith. Who knows though? You never know. I think both of them are touchdown dependent at this point. But maybe they give Juju more targets this game. Maybe that was just a single game plan that they went in for Wildcat against that specific defense. Who knows what they're going to do going forward. So overall, Keith wins. Keith takes down Don Juan 08 for his 4th victory.
And Don Juan stays winless. Dun, dun,
He's got to win. He's got to win.
He's got to win?
He won 3.
My mistake, Quinto.
I think he just won. He just beat somebody. Oh, who'd he beat? Let's see. Quinto. The juice is loose. Wow.
Oh, Billy.
Quinto was a second high score last week.
Oh, no.
I was the only one that beat him. The juice is loose. Lost to Don Juan. Wow. Sorry, Billy. That really stinks.
Yep.
Going into the week thinking you got a victory, and you just don't. You just don't. Which brings me to my next matchup. The juice is loose against Blue Jesus Chicken
Great
Wing.
segue. Great segue.
So I really don't think Billy has a good team. If you want me to review the positions, I will. But I'm just gonna give this one to Casey. But
oh my God, that's straight up
disrespect. So much disrespect in that.
Wow.
I'll review because he does have
Billy should be good.
He has a couple.
Rodgers, Thielen, and Godwin should be good.
Check marks, but right, he does. That's the only downfall. Yes, Saquon is hurt, so right now he's playing Frank Gore and Royce Freeman, and that's I'm going to give the edge to Mark Ingram and Damian Williams in the Kansas City offense over there any day. I feel like you never know with Adam Thielen now for running backs. Chris Godwin's a stud, but at the same time, Casey has Mike Evans and D. Hopkins. So I'm going to go Mike Evans and D. Hopkins. So right now he's got wide receiver, running back. D. Watson, Aaron Rodgers, that's a wash in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And then Zach Ertz. Billy's got Zach Ertz. I'm going to give the edge to him against the Jets. O.J. Howard, he was big hype this year. Hasn't done much. He gets One game he didn't have any targets, and then he gets 4 targets on average a game, no touchdowns. Zach Ertz get the nod. They pretty much just throw to him.
Yeah, they just throw it away.
Allen Robinson against E. Sanders for the flex. A. Robinson
Playing well.
at Oakland though.
No, it's in London.
London, that's right.
It's in London. Those London games are always weird too.
It's
always
very weird.
They're tough to judge. I mean,
Yeah.
I'd say if Trubisky was behind quarterback, Trubisky it just stares down Allen Robinson. Allen Robinson usually has
Oh, he
anywhere
does.
between like 8 to 12 targets if Trubisky's under center. Chase Daniels is in quarterback on that one, and he spreads the ball around. But still, Allen Robinson's the number one there. His catch radius is insane. So like I said, I mean that's what I would tell you. If it was Trubisky, I mean I'd
biased
say
at all.
no-brainer.
I
Is this embarrassing?
I
on my
just
head?
don't like Denver. They suck, man. Joe Flacco.
Yeah, Joe Flacco is just a giant idiot.
They
I feel
suck.
bad for him.
So
man.
I'm gonna give that nod to Billy. So Billy actually had 2 notches, tight end and
Come on,
flex.
don't do Billy
But
like that.
so really, technically, it's 2-2 and a tie. But Blue Jays Chicken Wings gonna take the win, even though Billy is projected right now 35% underdog, but he doesn't have a kicker in there. Goskowski
Billy,
got hurt,
get
buddy.
a kicker in there.
Oh, that's right. Look at that.
Guys got IR.
Oh, maybe I shouldn't have told him. Sorry, Casey. Didn't mean to blow up your spot, buddy.
Yeah.
You know? I mean,
I'm
chances
saying-
are.
Big
Chances are.
Cody
Billy-
Parkey.
Yeah, if Barkley's there, it's a different story, but he's not, which that's part of
Barkley's
fantasy.
there. I mean, I would have maybe given the nod to Billy, but I don't know, man. Frank Gore, Royce Freeman. I can't see his lineup winning with those 2 in there.
Royce Freeman's tough.
The Broncos are tough, dude. But so those are the matchups as far as topics before we go.
Yeah, you want me to just just for reiterating picks' sake here, since we're keeping a tally.
Yep.
Nikko has J Fed and the Carpet Munchers winning this week. I have Seabass and Sean Archer winning this week, and you have wow, my handwriting is terrible, but that is myself and Blue Jesus winning. So those are the winners, and we'll see what happens.
See what happens next week. Trick is, don't forget, anything over 50 moves, you have to pay $1. You're already at 27, 4 weeks into the season. Just want to let you know you're trending in the wrong direction, buddy. But hey, if you want to give money to everybody, go ahead. I don't care.
Money.
Yeah, I mean, we all understand the repercussions of that. So
We
when
do.
you go to pick up somebody and you look at their tag, it either says free agent or it says W. If it says W, you gotta wait. So when the whole damn player pool has a W next to them, it's kind of frustrating. But we have rules in place for that now. I think they should be a little bit more stringent, but we'll roll
address
with
that
it
next season.
now. Yeah,
Yeah, I think that's a step in the right direction.
it definitely is.
And
Especially because it seems like he is not going to adjust his strategy at all. So that's what it is.
maybe he toned it down a little bit. Who knows what he was at this point last year? But
Yeah. Good luck
I
to him.
definitely,
He's got a good
definitely
team
like
this
it.
year too. So
he does. We'll see. What's going on. Also, sorry about the Cubbies, Nico. But you can always root
That's
for the
tough.
Yankees now.
That's tough. I'm pulling for the A's. I can't. I mean, I knew Madden was going to be gone. I called it. I hope they hired. They're looking at interviewing a couple guys, but David Ross was the catcher on the World Series team, and they're interviewing him. That'd be nice to see.
yeah,
We'll see. It's always next year, right?
yeah.
Always next year.
One thing I did just interesting enough. I wanted to bring in up on the tail end of this is I saw an article today about how Percy Harvin and Calvin Johnson have both come out in the media talking about how they got high as fuck before and after games.
Every
during the
game.
season.
Every single game.
Just blaze, right? So I see that, and my next question is: one, of course, they're not the only people doing that. Two, so why did Josh Gordon get blackballed then?
I think
Is he just bad at dodging tests? Like
I think he was doing a lot more. If I'm
He might have been doing more.
wasn't he doing like some Bam Bam or? I mean, I thought he was doing some other crazy stuff.
I have
It
no
wasn't.
idea.
I thought he was.
I thought it was always just
I thought it was just
weed
marijuana. Yeah.
yeah.
Really? Oh yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, he just got.
I thought he was just a pothead. That's it.
He just got caught, and they didn't. So I don't know.
Who knows? But I wouldn't be surprised if more reports come out of other people.
I honestly think they should let him. I mean, a lot of guys have been really big proponents of it helping them with pain, and I mean, Gronkowski's out with the CBD oil type stuff.
Maybe not necessarily smoking, but I feel like for medical purposes, they should involve that into it.
Yeah.
100%. Whether it's juice, pills.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or,
if the alternative is getting strung out on high grade painkillers, I'd probably smoke too. But that's a debate for another time in another place. Just something I thought was interesting.
And
I saw
cup
that.
of coffee.
It's good. That's a good point. But that wraps it up for week 5. We'll see what our predictions come in next week. And good luck to everybody. We're out.
All right. Love you all.
See you guys.
Salud.